In this lesson, we're going to answer the question, how can I use inverse operations to solve an equation? And what you want to remember is that each operation has an inverse. If you add, the inverse is subtracting. If you subtract, the inverse is adding. If you are multiplying, the inverse is dividing. And if you are dividing, the inverse is multiplying. So these are just your inverse operations right here. And we use those to balance an equation, isolate a variable, and solve to figure out what it is. So in this first example, we have 11 equals t over 7. And this is basically, this expression t over 7 means t divided by 7. And it's, yes, I think I said 11. It should be 13 equals t divided by 7. So to figure this out, you want to isolate the variable. And to isolate the variable, you, instead of dividing by 7, you're going to multiply by 7. So you multiply by 7. And 13 times 7 would be 70 plus 21, which is 91. And that equals t over 7 times 7. This is how you should write it, but I like to work it out over here like this. Times 7 over 1. And when you multiply it like this, you can see, oh, well, 7 and 7 are going to go into each other each one time and cross cancel, and you just end up with t, which means that t equals 91. So again, I use the inverse operation with one step of multiplying instead of dividing, and I found my answer of t equals 91. Another problem that I want to go over here is testing if something's a solution to an equation. So in this equation, you have n divided by 6 equals 13. I mean, you could solve for n, and you could, just by using the inverse operation, you could say, okay, times 6 would give me n, and then 13 times 6 would be 6 times 10 is 60, 6 times 3 is 18, 60 plus 18 is 78. And you know, n equals 78. But what I really want, the way you really wanted to work this one is say 78 divided by 6 equals 13. Then you test it. So you do 78 divided by 6. Well, 78 divided by 6 is 13. And so 13 equals 13. And so you would have seen that anyway. If you looked carefully, when we got n equals 78, you knew that that is what n had to equal in this equation. And we just tested it to see if it worked in terms of is n a solution. So the answer is yes. N equals 78 is a solution. And again, this video's focus was on how to use inverse operations to solve an equation.